welcome to another episode of How to Sound Like Your Favorite 70s Guitar Rock God with Ulrich and Tomcat. Today we have something really cool for you. We're gonna talk about Ritchie Blackmore. Ritchie is pretty much the founder of the neoclassical guitar movement, and we all know him as the lead guitarist of the group Deep Purple. We're gonna be talking about 4 of his elements that make his sound, and that includes Baroque-type pedal note licks, Baroque-type arpeggio sequences, riffs in fourths, very important trademark for him, and also generally sequencing of ideas. And then if you stick around until the end, Mr. Tomcat here is gonna share his wisdom of the week, and I'm gonna share another resource with you that has the potential to really help you move forward with your guitar playing. Alright, please subscribe to this channel and like this video. We want to make sure that as many people as possible get to see this content. Alright, you ready to get started? So Ritchie was one of the very first guitarists to use those Baroque-type pedal note ideas in rock music. And he ended up being a major influence to neoclassical players like Yngwie Malmsteen, Winnie Moore, but also guitar players like John Petrucci and other modern day rock guitar virtuosos. So here is really the principle of a pedal note lick. You just have one repeating lick in between your other motive or sequence. It could be as simple as so the pedal can be one note, or it can also be a group of notes. It doesn't really matter. It's just the idea that you have something repeating and something moving. Don't you think that's cool, Tomcat? So also here, only your own imagination is your limitation here. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of different variations that you can use with those kind of pedal note ideas. But Ritchie wasn't only a master of pedal note licks, he was also a master of arpeggiated chord sequences that are very typical for Baroque music. I want to analyze this sequence for you really quick. I was just playing a G minor triad followed by a E flat major, and then I just moved this pattern through the scale. So next one would be F major, D minor, E flat major, A flat major, which is actually an out of scale chord, but it's a very common classical chord called the Neapolitan chord. And then we got G minor. And then to the dominant D major. Resolving back to the G. Now once you have those chords down, there's many different variations you can do. You know, I just played the straight triad. You can also do in the other direction, or you could do different sequences, right? Let's try that through the chord sequences real quick. So be creative with those different approaches and just implement them into your own playing, and you will see it's a great way to make your solo sound more crafted and more composed. All right, Tomcat, are you ready for number 3? Yes, because number 3 is one of the essential elements of Ritchie Blackmore's style, and it was one of the most important factors to really give Deep Purple the push that a lot of people would listen to that music. And like so often in guitar music or guitar playing, it didn't have to do with solos, but it had to do with composition and with riffs. Let's look at some of Ritchie's most famous legendary riffs. So you will notice that those riffs all have something in common. They're all based around fourth intervals. And that was somehow Ritchie's trademark. He loved to use those powerful fourths and, basically move those fourths through the pentatonic scale. And also his rhythms were really simple and catchy, and that helped a lot to make for memorable riffs. And especially that Smoke on the Water riff, is probably the most loved and most hated riff on the planet, especially in music stores. What do you think, Tomcat? Yeah, he doesn't talk much. So if you want to start to come up with your own riffs in that style, then just use fourth intervals and move them around creatively and create some interesting rhythms. I'm gonna do an example here for you in C minor. So yeah, if you want to sound like Deep Purple, then that is one of the avenues you can take. And of course, Ritchie wasn't alone in playing those riffs. He had a second rhythm guitar in the band. I'm talking about John Lord, who is known to take his B3 not into a Leslie speaker, but into a Marshall stack, and basically providing a second guitar for the band. So you can imagine that this wall of sound was a super powerful way to bring those riffs to the eardrums of the listeners. Okay, so here we are at number 4, and here I want to briefly talk about Ritchie's general approach of composing his solos rather than just improvising them. And he was a great improviser and had the blues as a strong root of his playing. But here is what he says in interviews, which pretty much sums it up perfectly. That his music is rooted in the blues just as much as in classical music. And he loves the precision of classical music. So his music kind of moves in between the no man's land of the blues and classical music. You can already hear this in Deep Purple's work of 1969, Concerto for Group and Orchestra. And in that concert, they're playing with the London Philharmonic Orchestra, and the piece is written by John Lord, but you can see that Ritchie's playing is very organized and very sequenced. And that's what I want to show you here really quick. So you can hear in this very early recording, while his improvisation is deeply based in the blues and the pentatonic, that he puts in these sequences that kind of hint to this neoclassical style that he would later develop much further. But you can already hear it there that those sequences are really what make the difference and make his style unique. So if you want to use sequences like that, it's actually real simple. Just take one little fragment like and just move it through the scale. What do you think, Tomcat? Huh? Pretty cool. So right now I was moving this around horizontally, but you can of course also move a cell like this around vertically. Alright, so this was a lot of ground to cover, so I want to give you guys a quick summary here. Today we talked about Ritchie Blackmore's musical stylings and musical approach, and I listed 4 elements that make his playing unique. The first was pedal note licks in a kind of Baroque classical style. The second one was arpeggiated sequences, also kind of giving a Baroque classical feel. The third element I talked about was riffs using fourth intervals. And the fourth element was how to use sequences so you can achieve a more through composed feel of your solo. So before we wrap it up here, we definitely want to hear it from Mr. Tomcat here, what he has to say, his wisdom of the week. So what are you going to tell us, Tomcat?
A cat has absolute emotional honesty. Human beings, for one reason or another, may hide their feelings, but a cat does not.
Wow, Tomcat, I'm impressed. Those were some deep words. So let that sink in, my friends. And I, on the other hand, want to give you something too. I want to give you another resource that is going to be great if you want to strengthen your phrasing and your bendings. With this link here below, this is the link to my free Jimi Hendrix workshop where you can learn some new approaches to put into your playing. Check it out below. All right, so I hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. If you like this lesson, please give us a like here and comment what you liked in particular, if it helped you out in your own playing. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we will see you very soon next week.